Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradberry and Jean Greaves. Introduction. Imagine the warm California sun on your skin. The cool mist of the ocean in the air. You're out on the water, a surfboard beneath you, bobbing gently in the rolling swells. It's a perfect morning. That's where Butch Connor found himself, enjoying a quiet moment away from the crowd of other surfers. He was waiting for the perfect wave. And as a beautiful, teal-colored wave began to crest, he heard a loud splash behind him. He glanced over his shoulder and his blood ran cold. A 14-inch gray dorsal fin was slicing through the water, heading straight for him. His muscles locked. His breath caught in his chest. The world narrowed to a single point of focus, the fin. He could hear his own heart pounding like a drum against his ribs. Then, the wave he was waiting for lifted, and in its shimmering, translucent face, he saw his worst nightmare. A 14-foot great white shark, as long as a small car, was just feet away. Paralyzed by sheer terror, Butch missed his one chance to ride the wave to safety. Now, it was just him and the shark. For a moment, a strange thought crossed his mind. It's going to kill me anyway. Maybe I should just reach out and touch it. But the shark didn't give him the chance. Today, we're diving into a book that explains exactly what was happening inside Butch Connor's brain during those terrifying moments. It's a book that has sold millions of copies and has been translated into dozens of languages, used by everyone from Fortune 500 executives to professional athletes. It's called Emotional Intelligence 2.0, and it's written by the researchers Travis Bradberry and Jean Greaves. This isn't just some abstract, academic book. It's a practical guide to understanding the single most important factor for success and happiness in life. It's not your IQ. It's not your education, and it's not your experience. It's something else, a skill that allows some people to flourish while others, who seem brilliant on paper, struggle. By the end of our journey today, you will understand this hidden force. I promise you, you will learn the 4 fundamental skills that make up emotional intelligence, and you'll walk away with a clear picture of how you can start developing them, not in a few years, but starting today. You'll understand why that surfer, Butch Connor, frozen in fear one moment, was able to fight back the next, and how that same battle between feeling and reason is happening inside you every single day. Book summary. So what happened to Butch out there in the water? After that first moment of paralyzing fear, the shark chomped its massive jaws, but miraculously missed him, throwing him off his board. As he splashed into the murky water, his terror was replaced by a different feeling, anger. He got back on his board, and when the shark came at him again, he jammed the nose of his surfboard into its gills. He fought back. He yelled a warning to the other surfers. He survived. Butch's story is a dramatic example of a battle that rages inside every single one of us, every single day. It's the battle between reason and feeling, between what we think and what we feel. And understanding this battle is the first step to understanding emotional intelligence. Here's how our brains work, in the simplest terms. Everything you experience, sight, sound, touch, enters your brain near the base of your spinal cord. From there, these signals have to travel all the way to the front of your brain, to your frontal lobe, which is where rational, logical thinking happens. But there's a catch. On the way to the rational part of your brain, these signals pass through another region first, the limbic system. This is where your emotions are born. This means that you are hardwired to experience things emotionally before you can ever think about them rationally. Your heart gets the message before your head does. Every single time. This is why a sudden noise makes you jump before you realize it was just the cat. It's why you might snap at someone you love before you have a chance to think through what's really bothering you. Your emotional brain is faster and, in many ways, more powerful than your rational brain. For a long time, people believed that intelligence, your IQ, was the ultimate predictor of success. If you were smart, you'd do well. Simple. But then scientists uncovered a strange anomaly. They found that people with the very highest IQs only outperform people with average IQs about 20% of the time. But get this, people with average IQs outperform those with high IQs 70% of the time. This just didn't make sense. If IQ wasn't the secret ingredient, what was? After years of research, they found the answer. It was this ability to manage the communication between your emotional brain and your rational brain. They called it emotional intelligence, or EQ. So what exactly is EQ? The authors break it down beautifully. They say it's your ability to recognize and understand emotions, both in yourself and in others, and your ability to use that awareness to manage your behavior and your relationships. It's crucial to understand that EQ is completely separate from your IQ and your personality. You can be a genius with a low EQ. You can be an introvert with a high EQ. IQ and personality are pretty much fixed from birth. You don't get smarter by learning new facts. Your fundamental ability to learn, your IQ, stays the same. Your personality, whether you're outgoing or shy, is stable throughout your life. But EQ is different. It's a flexible skill. It can be learned. It can be developed. And that is the most hopeful and powerful message in this entire book. No matter where you are starting from, you can get better. The authors organize emotional intelligence into 4 core skills, which fall into 2 main categories: personal competence and social competence. Think of it like this: personal competence is about your inner world, and social competence is about your outer world. Let's start with your inner world. The first skill, the absolute foundation of all the others, is self-awareness. Self-awareness is simply your ability to accurately see your own emotions and understand your tendencies. It's knowing what you're feeling, as you're feeling it. And it's knowing how you typically react to certain people, events, and challenges. This sounds simple, but the research shows that only 36% of people can do this accurately. That means nearly 2/3 of us are often controlled by our emotions without even realizing it. We're like puppets, and our feelings are pulling the strings. Developing self-awareness requires honesty and courage. It means being willing to sit with uncomfortable feelings instead of immediately pushing them away. It's about asking yourself, why am I really feeling this way? For example, you might feel angry at a friend for being late. But if you dig deeper, you might realize the anger is masking a different feeling: hurt. You feel hurt because their lateness feels like a sign of disrespect, that they don't value your time. Without self-awareness, you just act on the anger. With self-awareness, you can understand the root cause. The book offers some brilliant, simple strategies to build this skill. One of the most powerful is to quit treating your feelings as good or bad. We tend to label emotions. Happiness is good. Anger is bad. Guilt is bad. But these labels prevent us from understanding the message the emotion is trying to send us. Every emotion has a purpose. It's a piece of information. Guilt might be telling you that you violated one of your own values. Anxiety might be telling you that you need to prepare for something important. When you stop judging your feelings and just observe them with curiosity, they can teach you incredible things about yourself. Another key is to know who and what pushes your buttons. We all have triggers. It could be a specific person whose loud voice just grates on you, or a situation, like being criticized in public, that sends you into a defensive spiral. By identifying exactly what these triggers are, they lose their power over you. They no longer come as a surprise. You can see them coming and prepare yourself. The authors suggest making a list. Who and what situations consistently get a strong emotional reaction out of you? Just the act of writing them down builds your self-awareness. Once you start becoming aware of your own emotions, the question becomes, what do you do with them? This leads us to the second skill of personal competence: self-management. Self-management is your ability to use your awareness of your emotions to direct your behavior in a positive way. It's what happens when you act, or choose not to act. It's about staying flexible and choosing how you want to respond, rather than just reacting based on your emotional impulses. Remember Butch Connor, the surfer? His first impulse was paralyzing fear. That was a reaction. But then, he managed that fear. He calmed himself down enough to think, to fight back, and to paddle for shore. That was self-management. This skill is about more than just resisting an angry outburst. It's about putting your momentary needs on hold to pursue larger, more important goals. It's the ability to delay gratification. It's choosing to study for an exam instead of going to a party. It's choosing to have a calm, difficult conversation with someone instead of yelling or avoiding them. One of the most profound ideas in the book is that practicing self-management physically changes your brain. Neurologists call this plasticity. Every time you choose a new, more constructive response over an old, reactive one, you are strengthening the neural pathways between your rational and emotional brain centers. At first, it's like trying to walk through a thick forest. It's difficult and takes a lot of effort. But every time you walk that path, it gets a little clearer. Eventually, it becomes a well-worn trail, and then a road, and finally, a 5-lane superhighway. The new behavior becomes your default habit. So how do you build this mental highway? The book is filled with practical techniques. A simple but incredibly effective one is to count to 10. You probably learned this in kindergarten, but it's based on real neuroscience. When you feel a strong emotion like anger rising, your emotional brain is in high gear. By stopping and slowly counting to 10, you are literally giving your rational brain time to catch up. The simple act of focusing on the numbers and your breath engages your frontal lobe and cools down the emotional fire. Even just a few seconds can be enough to move from a destructive reaction to a constructive response. Another powerful strategy is to take control of your self-talk. We all have an inner voice, and our thoughts are constantly talking to us. The authors point out that the average person has about 50,000 thoughts a day. This self-talk has a massive influence on our emotions. Negative self-talk, like "I always mess things up" or "I'm such an idiot," can send you into a downward spiral. The key is to catch this negative self-talk and reframe it. Instead of saying "I always" or "I never," try saying "just this time" or "sometimes." Instead of a judgmental statement like "I'm an idiot," use a factual one like "I made a mistake." This shifts your focus from a permanent label to a specific, changeable action. It gives you room to grow. A third strategy that I find particularly useful is to visualize yourself succeeding. Your brain has a hard time telling the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. When you close your eyes and visualize yourself handling a difficult situation with calm and confidence, like giving a big presentation or dealing with a person who pushes your buttons, you are practicing. You are carving out those new neural pathways. It's like a mental rehearsal that prepares you for the real event, making it much more likely that you'll perform well when the time comes. So, self-awareness is seeing your emotions, and self-management is choosing what to do about them. That covers your inner world. But emotional intelligence is also about how you interact with others. This brings us to the other half of the model: social competence. The third skill, and the first part of social competence, is social awareness. Social awareness is your ability to accurately pick up on emotions in other people and understand what's really going on with them. It's about perceiving what others are thinking and feeling, even if they don't say it out loud. The most important elements of social awareness are listening and observing. To do this well, you have to stop doing a lot of the things we normally do in conversations. You have to stop thinking about what you're going to say next. You have to stop the internal monologue running in your head. You have to stop trying to formulate your brilliant rebuttal. Instead, you just have to be present. The book suggests thinking of yourself like an anthropologist, studying people in their natural habitat without judgment. You're not there to fix anything or to offer advice. You're just there to understand. One of the most practical strategies for this is to watch body language. People's bodies communicate constantly, often revealing far more than their words. Look at their posture. Are their shoulders slumped or held high? Look at their eyes. Is their eye contact direct and open, or are their eyes shifty? Is their smile genuine, crinkling the corners of their eyes, or is it forced? By tuning into these nonverbal cues, you can get a much richer understanding of someone's emotional state. Another incredibly simple yet powerful strategy is to greet people by name. Your name is a core part of your identity. When someone uses your name, it sends a message: I see you. You matter. It breaks down barriers and creates an instant connection. If you're someone who says, I'm great with faces but terrible with names, it's time to change that story. Make it a brain exercise. When you meet someone new, say their name back to them. Use it a couple of times in the conversation. It takes practice, but it's one of the highest return investments you can make in building your social awareness. Now, once you're aware of your own emotions, and you're able to read the emotions in others, you're ready for the final, capstone skill. This is where everything comes together. The fourth skill is relationship management. Relationship management is your ability to use your awareness of your own emotions and the emotions of others to manage interactions successfully. It's about building strong, authentic bonds with people over time. It's about clear communication, effective conflict resolution, and inspiring and influencing others. This is often the most challenging skill because it relies on the other three. You can't manage a relationship well if you're not aware of your own feelings, if you can't manage your own behavior, or if you can't understand how the other person is feeling. One of the most crucial strategies for relationship management is to acknowledge the other person's feelings. This doesn't mean you have to agree with them. It just means you have to recognize their feelings as legitimate. Imagine a friend is upset about something that you think is no big deal. The worst thing you can do is say, "You shouldn't feel that way," or "just get over it." That dismisses their experience. A much better response is to simply validate their emotion. "I can see that you're really frustrated about this," or "it sounds like that was a really difficult situation for you." This simple act of acknowledgement shows that you're listening and that you care. It builds trust and deepens the connection, even when you disagree. Another vital skill is the ability to tackle a tough conversation. Most of us avoid conflict. We let frustrations fester, or we blow up. Neither is productive. The book provides a wonderful roadmap for handling these conversations. It starts with finding common ground. Even if you disagree on everything else, you can agree that the conversation is important. Then, ask the person to help you understand their side. Genuinely listen, without planning your rebuttal. Once they feel heard, you can then share your perspective. The goal isn't to win the argument. The goal is to understand each other and find a path forward. This approach can turn a potentially relationship-damaging conflict into a relationship-strengthening one. Finally, a powerful concept for managing relationships is to align your intention with your impact. We often have good intentions. We intend to be helpful, or funny, or encouraging. But sometimes, the impact of our words or actions is the complete opposite. You make a joke to lighten the mood, but it ends up offending someone. You try to give helpful advice, but it comes across as critical. Relationship management is about closing this gap between intention and impact. It requires using your social awareness to read the situation and the people in it, and then using your self-management to think before you speak or act. Before you say something, ask yourself, what is my intention here? And given what I know about this person and this situation, what is the likely impact of my words? This simple check-in can save you from countless misunderstandings and repair jobs. These 4 skills, self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, and relationship management, are the building blocks of a successful and fulfilling life. They are not abstract theories. They are practical, learnable skills that you can begin to practice today, in every interaction you have. It's a journey, not a destination. It's about paying attention, being intentional, and understanding that how you handle feelings, your own and others' is the true measure of your strength. Commentary. As we reflect on the powerful ideas in Emotional Intelligence 2.0, what stands out most is a single, transformative message: you are not a victim of your emotions, you can be the master of them. In a world that so often prizes raw intelligence or technical skill, this book reminds us of a deeper truth. The most successful and fulfilled people are not necessarily the ones with the highest IQs, but the ones who understand the language of human emotion. What makes this book so enduring is its practicality. It doesn't just tell you what emotional intelligence is, it gives you a toolbox filled with specific, actionable strategies to build it. It demystifies the process. The idea that you can physically change your brain through conscious practice is incredibly empowering. It means that your past doesn't have to dictate your future. Your old habits don't have to define you. You have the power to rewire yourself for more patience, better communication, and deeper relationships. This message is more important now than ever. We live in an age of digital distraction, where genuine human connection can sometimes feel like it's slipping away. We communicate through screens, where body language, tone of voice, and other crucial emotional cues are lost. Developing our EQ is the antidote to this. It's what allows us to connect authentically, to lead with empathy, and to build relationships that are based on trust and mutual understanding. So, how can you start putting these ideas into practice right now, today? Here are 3 simple actions you can take. First, for the next week, become an emotional scientist. Keep a small journal or a note on your phone. At the end of each day, write down one strong emotion you felt. What was it? Anger? Joy? Frustration? Then, ask yourself, what triggered it? Don't judge it. Just observe it. This simple act of naming and noting your emotions is the first step to building powerful self-awareness. Second, in your very next conversation, practice the art of pure listening. Make it your mission to understand the other person's perspective without formulating your own response while they are talking. When they are finished, try saying something like, "So, if I'm understanding you correctly, you're feeling." This not only helps you build social awareness, but it will make the other person feel truly heard. Third, implement a 10-second pause. The next time you feel a surge of a strong, reactive emotion, like the frustration of being cut off in traffic or the anger from a critical comment, just stop. Before you say or do anything, take one deep breath and count to 10. This isn't about suppressing the emotion, it's about giving your rational brain a chance to come online. In that pause, you create the space to choose your response, rather than letting your emotions choose for you. That was a summary of Emotional Intelligence 2.0 by Travis Bradberry and Jean Greaves. We've touched on the core principles today, but a summary is like looking at a map of a beautiful country. It shows you the layout, but it can never replace the experience of actually walking the trails, meeting the people, and breathing the air. The real magic of this book is in the stories, the detailed strategies, and the personal moments of discovery that happen when you engage with it yourself. This summary is your map, designed to help you decide if this is a journey you want to take. If anything we've discussed has sparked a curiosity in you, I encourage you to get a copy. Reading it isn't just about gaining knowledge, It's about gaining a deeper understanding of yourself and the people around you, which is one of the most valuable experiences you can have. Also, if you found this summary helpful and want to continue exploring the ideas in the world's most influential books, please take a moment to like and subscribe. It helps us continue our mission of bringing these powerful lessons to you. Let's keep learning and growing together.